Welcome back to Shadowgate. This is the standalone library episode, so we're going to go through all the books on the bookshelf, as well as finish what we did out here. So you already read this book. This was about Lakmir and Talomir, aka Talamar. Let's take that book. This was the book with the jumbled words. Don't remember what we do with this book, but imagine we get a spell that could decipher it. What is this book? We haven't read this one yet. Pale white leather Uluru, and it's locked. Well, can we open it anyway? Ah, metal band. Is there a description of the lock? Metal strap. I don't suppose our trusty Dirk can pick the lock. No. What about the wrought iron key? This one, yes. Haven't used this key yet. Jam the key in the keyhole. No. Okay. Let's just take it with us. Where's the books? Here they are. Okay. Alright, so let's go through all the books on this bookshelf. Something strange. Okay. Historia Regum Britanniae. You strain your eyes, reading the small compact lettering. Yurga knew not what had befallen her. This is like a fictional story. She would be trapped in a hold of wanted desire. Okay, so it's just a romance novel, I guess. Chronicles of the 12. I like that spelling. By historian Lothreath. Telling the forms known to all as a circle of 12. Kuthagar, that's us. Or maybe our ancestor, called the first and greatest, heeded the portent of the skies to build a demesne in the heart of the gatekeeper. To bar the way, it's part of the clue. Forever vigilant and blessed with powers, Hildur, called the second, gifted with sight and tormented with the knowledge that which would come. So who was the third? Or we had a clue like, the first, like thrice defeated, thrice returned, the first barred the way, the second was carefree along the path of luck, and the third was the raven. Okay. Mordok's Castle of Danger. It's another fiction book. Gingerly. Dirk briefly catches the eye of Princess Daphne. Life-size hourglass. Okay. The fictional flavor books are sort of like the least interesting category, I think. I like the lore books, and then of course the clue books. Wise beyond his years. Herschel. And Triton. Search for the golden apple. Maybe that's something important. Every puzzle has an answer. What's the name of that book? Herschel and the Never-Ending Puzzle. Is that a book or a space? That's a space, okay. Invention by Abner. Ah, so this book, you don't read it, it only comes out so far, but it stops with a click. So these are needed to open that bookcase we noticed that has a passage behind it. Let's ignore that for now. The Tale of the Ward Elder. Two siblings. The one who wards, is this going to be important? A godling? Gates of Eternity. Sacrifice is subject to everything and demands equity proportional to all. Not sure if that's really important. Requiem for the Count of Calistro. Intricate scroll work. Loop. Loop on the third. Pauses and looks at the man of Seth with a much pained expression. As a thief. He's much better suited to stealth fighting. Someone face to face for the birds. Just when things look darkest. Yep, Jigen jumps in from the window with a shout. Crashing to the ground and roll a wooden cudgel. Jigen was the guy with the pistol, though, right? Is it Castle Calistro or something? The name of the anime? Okay. That one's pretty good. Even though it wasn't, like, relevant to anything. Portent for the Immortals of Gabriel. No, this one. For the Immortals, they care not for humankind. Fodder for deception. Put low. The Immortals are gonna kill us. Gonna kneel over any moment. It's gotta be some sort of wizard potion. I can put an end to this. Yes. This is one of the few, like, context clues he will offer for free that's actually useful. Like remember the mouse hole? He had something specific to say about that mouse hole, but it was just joking around with us. Collection of rhymes and poems. The warder bars the gate, the warder guards the way, the warder stands within the gap, so those will not go astray. The warder stands eternal, the warder keeps the peace, the warder's person never changes, so those will not gain release. This warder is obviously something important, but just sort of building it up at this point. You randomly pick up pace, awaken you sleepers. The Shantor. Seems like some sort of cult prophecy or something. The Reign of Disperal. Hexen? Heretic? Eidolon surveyed the landscape. The last of the Serpent Riders. He alone knew the torment that one of the fallen undergoes. The cursed light and eternal warmth of the sun is Anthema, cleaving flesh from muscle and sinew. Blessed Night returns. I'm not up to speed on my Hexen lore, so... Well, that might actually be... Hexen itself might have been referring to something pre-existing, so... The Sailor's Way. The frumpy man in the brown cloak turned to the man in the funny hat and asked, "What's the deal? What is this, some kind of funhouse?" Why having fun? I don't get it. The Heart of the Steppes. Remember reading the story as a boy. Ah. The hero laid waste to the hordes arrayed about, cleaving head from body. I must take the heart of Ordak. This is Jer's version of, like, reading the Lord of the Rings or something. The Legend by Brown Tom. Okay. I think his first and last name is mixed up there. Pick up the story in the middle. Jax coaxed the unicorn from its concealment, trusting the princess. Another fiction book. Blix. Yeah, nothing interesting. Senescence by Mortis Palor. Finally at the trump, the fall of the warder, then death shall be fully unleashed. Rain bring souls of anguish. Who's he referring to? I don't know. Let's move on. In Spiritus and Elementus by Kuthagur. So this is... Again, this is our last name. Spiritus and Elementus. It's a little difficult to read. Spirit in corporeal form can be controlled by practitioner of the art. Most common are the elemental world. I said our silver orb and the elementals. Remain loyal even after death. Wait. What? They are primarily benign if left alone. Seldom portraying aggressive behavior. If treated with respect. Often return to... Okay, yeah. Don't want to forget my place there. You got tons of torches. Smoke them if you got them. So was Kuthagar a wizard then, I guess? We're a soldier, so... Oral history of the northern clans. Ah, another... like, switch. Tiresias Hildor. Haven't we seen that name before? In the third age there shall befall a great portent. The sky shall bear witness to Majal's tale, the great worm. Then all shall know the hour is at hand. The hero shall come from the first line and remake which was hidden, and the evil shall know fear. You piecing this together? The hero shall come, us, from the first line, the Kuthagars, and remake which was hidden. So I know what this is. Let's remember this for later. The evil shall know fear, because we've only got like scant clues about it at this point. That was this. No. Tiresias by Hildor. What's Tiresias? Torlin travelogue. So Torlin was the region that the desk was from? With the most striking visual summer solstice as viewed from Merlith Zath. The 6 peaks of the Red Mountains. This is 6 peaks of the Red Mountains comprise Darken Range in the foreground, with the 3 mountains of the blue-tinged Dragonfell immediately behind that. Next comes the single white summit of the Gatekeeper. That's the mountain the Shadowgate's on. While the spire of Agdor's Black Peak, lies beyond that. This view is known collectively as the Jagged Rainbow. Also remember this for later. Although, well, this clue's itself like repeated on a mural. History of Monarchs. It's the same Lotharior. I'm imagining him like Herodotus or something. The Revolt of the Bolsheviks. King Duggan, I think this is ringing a bell here, was cursed by the High Sorceress forever to crave gold and jewels after death. Appearing as a white, the dead king is said to kill those whom he deems thieves of his relics. Does that sound like a puzzle clue to you? King Duggan. Mirrodel. I don't know if we ever find more information about this sorceress. So who's the bad guy here? The sorceress or the king? Artisan and craftsmen. Okay, metallurgy, maybe that's useful. Commissioned by the First Circle to assemble a talisman of great power. Wallen took the Elder Magics, infused it with the carvings on the stave, finishing it with a root said to have come from the One Tree. So a stave, root from the One Tree, in the One Wood. So the orb was imbued with old arts, with which to command the spirit elements, the silver orb. Together these 3 were forged as one. Yet were commissioned to be separable parts that would only respond to the one with a lineage from the first. Is that ringing a bell? What's this one? Remake what was hidden. Separable parts. And where's our... Five to find, 3 are 1. 1 gives access to the Bladed Sun. The silver orb to banish below, the staff of ages banished below. Join 2 the golden thorn. The last to invoke the platinum horn. This is the major... This is going to be like the key puzzle for this section. Or like our key objective. Is to find those items in Remake, which was undone. You read that one? Experiments in social machinations. Observed in a commune. Access to town chairman. Oh, this is going to be about communism propaganda here. All those admitted donate their wealth. This proved to be a disaster. Just keep that away from Karl Marx. He won't be too happy. Thal third. You read The Famous Play starting at Act 1. Now the summer of contentment. Not the winter of discontentment. Made somber winter by the moon of Thal and all the suns that smile upon our house. Defeat. Not sure if I caught the reference there other than the Shakespeare. Oral history. One recent example of modernism is in the scene that the Citadel of Stormhaven. Haven't we seen that name somewhere? I don't remember though. Maybe a cutscene? This edifice sits as a watchtower. This is in stark contrast to the towers of the legendary Shadowgate, commissioned by Kuthagur to both reach above and blend in with the mountains. Okay. So Kuthagur built Shadowgate. The first circle. How many circles are there? Or it's like generations maybe? Those included Kuthagur the First, Master of the Elements, Hildor the Second, Seer, Belgris the Third, Mistress of the Air, Ocarina the Fourth, Lady of the Lakes, Tylomir the Fifth, Master of the Shadow. So he's actually a very old wizard or whatever. Because this is all like the old generation. This is the OG generation of the Circle of 12. Sorceress Illusions, High Priestess, Thorgruk. Don't name your kid Thorgruk. The first Thaumaturge. There's one of those. Mistress of the Animals, Summoner, Enchanter, Necromancer. You got a band of adventurers there. But how many of them have to wait at the end of time? This seems important. Another potion and remedies. Glance. Take a pinch. Okay. Dire circumstances. Wait. Period. So is this also for dire circumstances? Take a pinch of formed yeast. Sweet sugar. We don't have yeast. We have the cane, though. Extract a mint. Okay, the minty fungus. Cures the ills of the doldrums. We don't have doldrums. We're just dying here. I'm dying, man. Similarly, the powdered skull of a rodentia. Okay, we have one of those. A brackish base and a bitter root. Shall what? Shall what? Read the next page, Jer, you idiot. So brackish base. So I think this is referring to the sewer water. Unpleasant tasting water. I think it even uses the word brackish for that, for the water. So the only thing that we don't have out of these recipes is the yeast. Pinch of formed yeast. Interestingly, one of the few written notes that I have left, or that I even took during my first playthrough, was the recipes. So I have 3 recipes written down, but I didn't write out what they were for, so I'm still kind of flying blind here. So one of these is going to be the cure for the Banshee. Where were we? Potions and remedies. No. That one. Okay. Scriptures of the Truth. The wolves shall prowl, seeking the weak and weary. Well, this is underlined. Even then, do not despair, for the one is with you, uplifting you that might of his right arm. With the might of his right arm. Have we seen any statue of this one, maybe? The lowly shall be made high, and said to overcomes the barbs of the evil one. Then rejoice. Your pain is but for a moment, then sweet release shall come to those who persevere. Okay, just some sort of in-world religion here. Reliquary. Same name appearing again and again. Maybe that name is like a region, not a person. The fall of the circle shall come sudden from within. Yeah. Lasting for a time and half a time. Okay. The one appointed, he who is chosen of the line, shall brave the depths to encounter the bargain once wrought. At the end... Wait, did you say we were the end of the line? At the end the horn shall sound, platinum horn, and summon the skull to scream its last. Then the way shall be opened. The way once warded shall be opened to loose that which was restrained. He who is chosen of the line, so probably us. At the end. Okay. Loose which was restrained. Now is that what Talamar is trying to do, or is what we need to do? This was the... Yeah, okay. This is space. Ah, empty book. We have some books, but... But the books we have are like clues. We did the blank book. Close this. How could it not fit? Look at the headroom on this bookshelf. Look at this. Fine. Oops. Wait, we can't interact with this thing? Can we close it? I like how we close it with a dramatic flair. Strange symbol etching into the corner. Like these symbols? No? So I think maybe we need to find a book. It's one of these symbols. Put that there. Seems what's kind of like leading us towards burning beneath the Coldwell Norst. Oh, you mourners of the western folds of the fair Centrilia. The fires burn from deep below, like demons. Steam arises after 50 years. The people are no more, and the fire burn. What was that called? Clan of Drylock. I was always curious about this clan. Pray tell the tale. Stronghold Step. Dog-eared page, nice. Realm of the Clan of Drylock. Mountain Folk. Drakahan. Dracula-chan. The 4 followers of the evil. Went among them. Okay, so that doesn't seem very relevant. Oh, a kitty! Oh, oh, I can have a cheeseburger. What the Parrot Saw by Throckmorton Fidley. Reginald was unhappy. It's another fiction book, maybe? Lady Almadrail. Is this supposed to be a reference? Maybe some of you readers out there will recognize what book this is referencing. Red-haired gentleman? No? Another space. No, wait, so is this space special? Yes. About the size of a thick book. So maybe when he says it doesn't fit, he's like, well, it's not thick enough. Okay. Oh, another puzzle book. The Great Piper. You randomly pick a place to start reading. Sunlight. A million bright ambassadors. It's a nice way to describe the stars. There's no dark side. It all echoes at the final pulse. Is there any hint there? I think we're fine. We get aches and chills, but we're still feeling comfortable. Come on. Let me just go through that real quick. Watch the Watcher through the window. And wandering skies. So the Watcher is something we can see out a window, it looks like. And something to do with the stars. Very nice. Tales of the Laughingstock. Nothing humorous. The dirty skeleton with the glass eyes. Sounds like someone you know. Too big for its head, just said. Why to grind your skin? There's a faraway voice called, I have to get inside. What? It's like a campfire story. The skeleton is inside the room. The Founding by Leif Dritzlin. Alright. Another one of those. I wonder if they do these in like some sort of order. Huh. Ferner Awful. Hidden across the ages. And the coupling shall contain 1 part death, 1 part sweetness, withered aromatics, and 1 part frost. Is that a recipe? I don't have that one written down. Just do it this way. Hidden across the ages. Okay. Enough of that. Another blurry book. Okay. Turn your head, reading the title on the spine of the book. The Buck and the Maiden. Seeing the Mighty Oak. I think it's just another fiction book. I have, the maiden said. What then in this fair world is stronger, and what is deeper, and what is taller than these things? The strongest is the bind between bridegroom and his bride. The deepest is the mother's love. The tallest are the tales told around the warming of fire in midwinter. Young ones afoot. Dance in the dark of night. Sing to the morning light. The magic runes are writ in gold to bring balance back. The mighty arms of Atlas hold heavens from the earth, and one bell rings in celebration for their king. who sits with elders the gentle race. Is this a clue, maybe? Doesn't really seem like it, but like ringing the bell is something we could conceivably do. So be on the lookout for an Atlas statue. That was that one, okay. Winter's Tale. Not a Summer Night's Tale. There was once a village on the edge of a winter wood. Old men. The 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month. The Jack of the Frost would light 2 butter lamps and set them on the frozen hand of the earth near an old gnarled oak. Not really sure if I caught all the references here, other than Jack Frost. Hey. More rhymes. Elrin stand again. Afore poor Elrin could lay it waste, she knelt down in a morass of hate, beseeching all who would come after her. That dead Elrin paid a price with laughter. Come to think of it, you never liked this poem. Me neither. Swarming Jetsam by Lilith Eyre. Okay. I imagine these have to be done in some order, because you're bound to just like open them up in a linear order before you figure out there is supposed to be a puzzle, so what would be the... Like, you'd think they'd do something more complicated than just something you could stumble into. Songs of the Bard. Who was there when the oceans bridled? Skipping Stones. The Green Man. I feel like I should know. I feel like this is some song that I know, right? The Green Man. I don't know. It's not coming to me, sorry. The Great Upheaval by Lotharith. Thus the one was wroth, and towards heaven brought forth a star set on fiery wings, more stars. This he called the Fortunae Superum. The boundaries were laid low, and the fire squares aside. Okay. Don't think this is actually relevant. Just what's it, like history of the world or something. Rather nice indeed. Was it written by Lakmir? Look at the 10, the great cat people on the steps. They are honor bound to claim a life when a life is taken. Assassins. Misguided. History at Tarragon. Do that. The Rage Wars. Turok? Name for the deity of vengeance. For a time once the rulers of Tarragon allied themselves to the northern houses, thus to bring war upon combined clans. Yeah, I'm yawning too. Needs more dinosaurs. Temples and Omens. Gunther! You speed read the page. That could have been useful a second ago, you know. Picking out pieces of a prophecy here and there. Shall retrieve what was lost in the fortress. Providing the state of blessedness. Win the symbol, Hammer of Enroth. Shall lead the peoples. That does not sound at all. Some prophecy. That was this one? Temples and Omens. And entreaty for larger reality. That was going to expand my mind there for a second here. Except for 3 intertwined circles that are offset from each other. This is the cover. Wait, is that the Never-Ending Storybook? Maybe, I don't know. I'll look that up after this. Open the book and see several words that stand off the rest. Restitution, resiliency, and reliant. Throbs your mind. Yeah, I don't. So maybe not the Elder. Weird tale. The younger said to the elder, and what shall I eat with my mutton? With a toothless grin. Pull forth a spoon from the confines of his robes. Okay, this is a waste of a book, I think. Deldane. And the time sorrow shall be known. Skip Elven maid. That which was made falsely. Signaling a dark age. 3 sorrows. What are the 3 sorrows? This doesn't seem very helpful. Or it doesn't even give us any like useful lore. The necromancer. The boy walked silently along the battlefield. He remembered the pain and torture. The Carrie story here. So with his dead dog, he touched each and every one of the lifeless men. They shall remember my name. Huh. Raven's Peak. Was that one of the mountain peaks? You skip to the center of the book. Poem. Bring me a ship that is stout of stern, a crew of men whose fire burns, a strong wind forward in the darkened sky, a cloudless night to guide it by. I think it's just a random poem. Maybe it's a riff on a well-known poem, I don't know. Okay, so we need to get a book here. We had 3 recipes, as well as, what was the potions and remedies somewhere? Yes. So let's just quickly recap the most important stuff, which was this. I think this is like the only critical clue. So this is possibly for dire circumstances, and then also possibly something similar. We also had the clue about that which was unmade. And then there was this one. We couldn't decide whether this was a. Wait, what? The companion can be brought low through an elixir, an enchantment of heat and power. Did we skip that one? I don't remember that one. Okay, I've discovered something odd about this book here. If you keep reading it, you sometimes get different passages. So this here is the last passage we got. And notice it even says it contains a collection of handwritten passages, and you read one. It says the companion can be brought low through an elixir and an enchantment of heat and power. So those sound like steps we can do for some puzzle. Don't know what this companion is. And this here, this is actually from the same book. Right, see, collection of handwritten passages. So, advice from the great goblin hunter, never miss an opportunity to loot your adversary. So this is obviously just like a hint to like loot goblin corpses, but this one sounds like a puzzle. And let's look at these other 2 that the other passages I found we actually saw earlier in the video. Yes, so this one. The one who welcomes the dark in the catacombs below shall see that which is from another era. The catacombs is a place that we'll find later. It'll be actually named catacombs on the map, and welcomes the dark, so like maybe let our torch run out. That's interesting, because there were some puzzles in the catacombs I never solved, but I never realized this was a clue in my last playthrough. So let's see if we can get to the last, the 4th passage that I found. No. Companion. This was the other passage was the. No, it was the recipe. Yes, the coupling. The coupling, we don't know what that is yet, shall contain 1 part death, 1 part sweetness, 1 part withered aromatics, and 1 part frost. So death could be like almost anything, but maybe a skull. 1 part sweetness, so that could be the sugar cane. Withered aromatic. So, are we going to find perfume maybe? Or like a flower? That would make more sense. A withered flower. 1 part frost. So we do have those snow petals, snowdrop flower. Or maybe we can get a snowball or something? I don't think we've tried, like, picking up the snow. We should try that. Yes, this is another recipe. That's interesting. Huh. Okay, so I haven't checked the other books of whether they are, like, have random passages in them or not. So if we're desperate, I could try doing that. So that the other thing that we got from this book, just to finish wrapping up, was, I guess, some lore about Kuthagar, which is our ancestral line, and King, I think it was Dagon. We'll see King Dagon. We'll hear more about him later. Okay, so that'll be it for this episode. We'll return to the non-reading portion of the game in the next episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care, stay safe, and bye for now.